Hey y'all, hope you having an amazing week so far. I did not realize that I started like a minute early. Normally I start at 12, but I think I started at 11:59, which is okay because I'm super excited to be talking to you today because last week my son tested positive for COVID, and then I started feeling strange, but I didn't know if I had COVID or if it was because of this detox that I was doing. So normally when I do a detox and I'm, eating all of those fruits and vegetables, and I start to feel a little lightheaded as my body starts to process those toxins out of my body. So I get weak and lightheaded. So the first time I had COVID, my biggest symptom was I felt weak and lightheaded. So I'm like, is this the detox or do I actually have COVID? Well, anyway, today I'm back and rocking and rolling. My energy is way up there, and it could be due to the detox. Because if you've done a detox before, you know that first of all, it's no joke. Second of all, around about the fourth or fifth day, you start feeling super energetic. And so that's where I am today. My energy is just through the roof today. So I'm excited to talk to you today about really prioritizing your business so you can actually get things done. This is one of the biggest things that I see people struggling with when it comes to growing a business. Now, the first thing is that most of us we have very busy lives. Like for me, my daughter does dance, my son does taekwondo, and then I have my other things that I'm doing for myself, and then my husband is very busy, and so life can get really busy. And so if you don't take the time to prioritize your business, then you won't be satisfied. You'll find yourself feeling less than satisfied with the results that you're getting in business. Now, I'm going to tell you that your business, if you want to be successful, and I probably don't have to tell you this because you probably already know. If you want to be successful in business, you've got to make your business a priority. And I do, like I said, I do understand how life can get so busy sometimes, and you find yourself intending to do things, and then, it's Friday already and you haven't done the thing that you wanted to do. So, the first thing to understand when it comes to making your business a priority, I believe that it starts with belief. And I posted this in my Facebook group the other day, that anything that you want to do in life in business starts with you believing that you can actually do the thing, or believing that the steps can actually work for you. The steps that we put in, the strategies that we implement, believing that it can work for you too. So starting with belief and understanding that you can do this. You can grow a successful business, and it could be everything that you've ever dreamed about. And so the reason why I say that it starts with a belief is because sometimes the reason why we don't do the things that we know we should be doing is because we don't really believe that we can be as successful as what we see some other people doing, right? Deep down inside, there's this thing. Let me turn off my ringer. Deep down inside, there's this thought that's like, wait, what if I put all this effort in and it doesn't work? But wait, I want to encourage you to think differently, right? So what if you put all the effort in and it actually does work? And so if you're stuck in that thought of like, what if I do all this work and it doesn't work? It will cause you to not actually set aside a time to actually do the work, because deep down inside, you're wondering if it's actually going to work for you. Think about it like this. What am I going to do when the work that I'm doing actually starts to pay off for me? What I've seen is most entrepreneurs, they don't have the patience or the focus to be able to continue in doing the things that move the needle. And when I say move the needle, I'm laughing at myself because for years I was stuck in doing things in my business that don't really make money. And I was just talking about this with one of my clients, and I was telling her how it's still a struggle for me to focus on the things that are actually making me money, because I'm very technical and I love getting behind the scenes and working on the technological parts, getting into the code. Even though I don't really consider myself a coder, I do understand enough about code to go in there and change things around and get them to how I want them to be. So I get caught up in those things, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I need to be, doing consultations, but I'm over here working on this website code, or I'm over here creating graphics, and I like to do those things. However, those things don't move the needle in my business. And so that's what I mean. When it comes to growing your business, you got to put your focus on the things that actually move the needle, the things that make a difference. You can do things all day that don't really make money. like, working on your website, and those things are important, right? Creating graphics, doing, creating new things that you're going to send out to your email list. And I'm not saying don't create content, don't create graphics, but I'm telling you the things that are going to move the needle when it comes to the space that we're in, the coaching, mentorship, service provider space. What's really going to move the needle is you engaging with people, you talking to people, you communicating with people. And I do not understand this mindset that I've seen so often, where people, they want to get new clients but they don't want to talk to anybody. I cannot understand that for the life of me. You cannot expect to get clients without talking to people, like, at all. Like, you have to talk to people in some way if you want to get new clients. Because think about it like this: if you're going to be coaching these people, don't you think they want to hear from you? They want to know how you think, they want to know your personality before they invest with you. And so, them seeing you and them being able to engage with you and communicate with you before they join your program makes a huge difference. So, yeah, my website is important. Yes, graphics are important. All of those things are important. But do they actually move the needle when it comes to adding to your bottom line? When it comes to adding to that bank account, do they really move the needle? And I will tell you, I have a friend who, she teaches on branding as well. She's a branding coach too. And she made beyond six figures without even having a sales page for her program. And so that's just one thing. Yeah, the sales page is important, but is her having a sales page really going to move the needle when it comes to adding to her bottom line? For her, no, not at all. She didn't get a sales page until after she had already made six figures with her program. And so then she created a sales page to sell her program from a sales page. And so I'm just saying that to use as an example that sometimes you can get caught up into things that aren't really moving the needle for you. And then, you're looking at your business and you're like, oh my goodness, I didn't hit my income goal. Probably because you spent too much time doing the wrong things. Take it from somebody who's been there, right? So I'm giving you a little bit of tough love only because I've been there and I've done that. And I'm telling you, if you really want to move the needle, you got to get out of doing so many things and do the right things. So that comes with really setting your priorities and saying, okay, this is what I'm going to do to grow my business this year. So the first thing when it comes to how to really prioritize your business so that you can actually get things done, the first thing that you really have to do is you've got to set time aside to do the things that you need to do. The right things. You got to set time aside to do the things that you need to do. And then you have to keep your commitment to yourself. Now, I don't like, how sometimes you can say, okay, from this time to this time, I'm working on creating this new piece of content that I'm going to go live and talk about it. So for 30 minutes, I'm working on my notes for my live show. Okay. And then the time comes and then you realize, wait a minute, my favorite TV show is on. And so you go and watch TV instead. Or you realize, oh my goodness, I need to run to the store to do so and so. You guys, I really had to stop doing that because I'm working from home. I found myself saying, you know what, I need to run to the store real quick. I need to go to Target. I need to go do this. I need to go do that. And I will be running errands. And then I thought about it. And I said to myself, if I was working a full-time job, would I just stop what I'm doing and go to the store? And I was like, probably not. I probably would go after my work is finished or after work. And so I started reprioritizing some things and saying, okay, I would ask myself when I get that thought, oh, I need to run to the store because I love going to the store without my kids, right? So when I drop my kids off at school, that's when the thoughts usually come like, oh, I need to go to the store. I need to do this because my kids are at school and I'm excited to go to the store without them, right? Because my kids get in the store and they ask for everything. So I have to, buy extra things because they're with me. And so that's when that thought would normally come up. Like, okay, I need to run to the store. So now I ask myself, can that wait? Is it something that I need right now or can it wait? Most of the time, the answer is yes, it can wait. And so if it can wait, I drive straight home, get my breakfast, and get started in my office. And so it really takes you having that discipline and focus so you can actually get things done in your business and not allowing things to pull you and distract you. For example, sometimes my phone rings when I'm doing something and I'm like, okay, I'm not taking that call right now. Let me finish this and then I'll call them back. The only time I really answer the phone is when it's my mama. And now y'all if you've been following me long enough, you may have seen me answer the phone for my mom while I'm on live video. So, and one time I actually answered the phone while I was live, and I was like, "Hey, mom, I'm actually live right now, doing a video." And she said, "Tell everybody I said hello." And I was like, I thought she would be like, "Okay, well, I'll call you later." She's like, "Tell everybody I said hey." And I'm like, so so listen, you've got to really have your focus on what you're doing for that time. And you got to get really serious about your time. You know how you got that one thing in your house that you like to eat, that one food or that one snack. And if somebody eats your food or eats your snack, you be like, "Listen, somebody, if y'all don't tell me what happened to my food, everybody getting put out today." You'll be ready to go hard for your snacks, right? You got to be the same way when it comes to your time. You have to be willing to go hard for your time and say, "I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that until this thing is finished." And what I'm finding is that a lot of people are not doing that. They don't have that kind of focus or that drive to say, "Listen, from 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock, this is what I'm doing. My phone is in another room, so I'm not distracted." And what I like to do, I like to play like classical music. So I'll play either like some light jazz or some classical music when I'm thinking or when I'm working on something creative, because it makes me feel great, right? When I'm listening to certain types of music, I don't know about y'all, but for me, I like all kinds of music. That's probably because most of my school life as a kid, I was in band. So I played the flute, I played the clarinet, and then I was the drum major. And so, so like certain types of music, I really enjoy just turning on that music and really diving in so that I could focus. And sometimes you can just go to YouTube and type in thinking music, and you'll get all this like really awesome music that you can just hit play on YouTube. If you don't have any other type of musical device, you can just go to YouTube, type in some thinking music or whatever kind of music you like, just so you can focus for getting that thing done. So setting aside the time to do the things that you need to do and keeping your commitment to yourself. That's the number one thing that's going to help you to actually get things done in your business so that you're not all over the place. Trust me, I'm telling you, it is a game changer. And I know that when I talk about some of my own experiences with life and business, I know you can relate to it. I know you can relate to doing all the things during the day, and then you look up and you're like, "Oh, I didn't do that thing I was supposed to do. I didn't finish that email. I didn't do this. Or I was supposed to email this person back to book this call and I didn't do it." So you really got to have that time set aside. So inside of my Expert Branding Academy, I do help my clients to schedule out their work, and I also help them to focus on doing the right things as well, making sure they're not um, going down a rabbit hole, so they can actually stay focused on the things that are going to move the needle. So we talk about income producing activities and things that don't actually produce income. And so that's really important when it comes to blocking your time out, because if you work a full-time job and you've got 2 hours a day to work on your business, you got to make sure you're doing the right things, because your time is very limited. You do not have time to waste on doing the wrong things. Okay. And you absolutely can build a business, coaching business, mentorship business, and or service provider business while you're working a full-time job. And so that just comes with you prioritizing, like what we talked about. Do you need to get up an hour early? Do you need to stay up an hour late? Do you need to take your lunch break? Pack your lunch, and instead of going to a restaurant for lunch, pack your lunch and get some work done on your business. Now, I'm not encouraging you to work work for yourself. You're supposed to be working for your boss. But what I am saying is honor your boss, honor the job that's providing for you right now. So if you're off and it's your lunchtime and that's your time to do what you want, then you can use that time to focus on your business. But you got to get really focused. I'm talking about the kind, like there's a remnant of people who they seem like just a different breed of people, right? They seem like they're on just another planet because of how they operate, how they function. So when I talked about, if you're really serious, and let's say you get a 1 hour lunch break or a 30-minute lunch break, for some people it's 2 hours. When I was working a full-time job, we would be going for like 2 hours skating. And I only worked a full-time job ever like for a year, and that was when I first when I got out of the Navy. But during that time, we would have like 2 hour lunch breaks, right? And just be skating off and doing stuff that doing way too much, going to a restaurant, waiting for our food. I'm not talking about like a fast food restaurant. I'm talking like a sit down restaurant. And so That's a great time for you. If you're growing a business, take that lunchtime and put it into creating content, or doing some calls. If you book consultation calls, doing a live video. However you can squeeze something in, that's how you got to get when it comes to your business. You got to get so focused and so serious that you look like a whole different breed to people, and nobody understands you because they're like, why is she pack a lunch? Like, she used to go out to lunch with us, but now she's bringing her lunch, right? Why is so and so not going out with us anymore? She used to go out with us on Friday nights, but really on Friday nights you used to go out, but now you're like, okay, I got to grow my business. I do not have time to go and do these things because right now I'm focusing on my business. Your true friends will understand that, right? Your true friends will be like, go girl, we got you. Build your business. But you got to get focused like that. You got to get serious like that. So setting time aside to do the things you need to do and keeping a commitment to yourself. Okay. The other thing that you really got to focus on is really designing your life at home to position you to be able to work your business. And what I mean by that is those of us who have children, we have spouses, we've got ministry responsibilities, we've got all kinds of things going on at the kids' school, and then you got their extracurricular activities, and then you got date night, and then you got Bible study that you have to be at, and then you got choir rehearsal, whatever it is that you do. We have a lot of competing priorities. And so, some things that you can do to make your life easier at home so that you can focus on business. So, for example, I was just talking about this to a client. So, I get my kids school when I get my kids school clothes ready at nighttime, it saves me a lot of time in the morning. And I find myself getting them dropped off at school a few minutes earlier than normal. And it just makes the morning so much better when I get the clothes ready at nighttime, or take a Sunday and iron all of their clothes. I don't know if you still iron anymore, but I don't know how many people still use an iron, but I actually iron my kids' school clothes. So iron all of their clothes on a Sunday, hang them up in the closet. So all they have to do is grab an outfit and get dressed. It makes a huge difference. But those are some things that I do to help me get into position to work my business. So now I'm not running around frazzled in the mornings. And I also go shopping on Sundays to buy food for their lunches so that I'm not up like, oh my goodness, I don't have anything for their lunches. Let me cook something real quick, right? So I have all of those things ready to go for me on Sundays so that my week in business can be successful. So Sundays, that's like a prep day for me. You can do it on Saturdays or whatever day works for you. But these are things that you have to do at home to get yourself in a position. And for you, it could be something different, right? If you don't have kids, or maybe it's something different for you. Maybe it's you prepping your meals on Sundays or Saturdays, prepping your meals for the week so that you're not stopping work and spending an hour and a half preparing a meal when that hour and a half could be used for something else. So you have to think about what you need to do at home to get in a position so you can focus on your business. Now, for me, I like to eat. I'm like, I love food. So for me, I like to have certain things already ready to go so that I can get breakfast easily. So when I drop my kids off, I come home, I eat breakfast, and then I make my way up to the office so that I can start my workday. So I like to have things like already ready to go. Like I have like certain oatmeal, like I like oatmeal with flaxseed. And so I found an oatmeal with flaxseed in it that doesn't have too much sugar in it, that's instant, that I could just make that really quickly. Now I do have oatmeal that I can make, from just, cooking it on the stove. And it may take 5 or 10 minutes for me to cook because I add like all this stuff to my oatmeal, like blueberries, nuts, like shredded coconut, all, all kinds of different things. But I save that for when I'm cooking breakfast for my family on the weekends. When it's time for me to work, I grab the instant oatmeal, throw it in a bowl, and, throw a little water in there, pop it in the microwave, and then that's what I do. But for you, it could be something totally different. Maybe you want to prep your breakfast. Maybe you want to make some egg muffins. You know how they, take the eggs, they whip the eggs up and put it in a little cupcake, the cupcake container. Look, I bake cupcakes all the time. I can't even think of the name of it. But y'all know what I'm talking about, the cupcake pan. And they put the eggs in there and they add their toppings and all that, and then they bake it. And so then they have like the eggs like available for like the entire week. And you can just grab that, heat it up, and do it for breakfast. But I'm talking about all these things is because they're very practical things, but sometimes you don't think about like, oh, wait a minute. You know what? I could think of at least 5 things that I can do to prioritize my business. So when you're working, you're not like, oh my gosh, I'm hungry. Like I need to stop because I'm the kind of person like my attention span is really short. If I stop to go eat breakfast, I might not come back. I might like sit down, turn on the TV, and the next thing I know, I'm watching Netflix when I should be sending emails, right? And I'm saying that because I have to do what I have to do to keep myself focused on what I'm doing. And I've had to move things around and change some habits in order to put myself in a position to have an amazing week. Okay. So, number one is setting aside the time to do what you need to do and keeping your commitment to yourself. If you say from 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock, I'm engaging with my audience, I'm doing a live video, and I'm sending some messages after that, then stick to that. And then if you say, okay, well, when I get off work, I'm taking an hour and I'm working on scheduling my content for the week, then you stick to it by all means. In my house, we're at a point now where my kids already understand that on Tuesday nights at 7 o'clock, that's my time with my clients. And so they get their snacks. So I usually try to give them dinner before that. So after dinner, they get their snacks and they usually turn on some type of movie, some type of parent approved movie, because I'm really picky about what my kids watch on TV. They'll find some type of approved movie and they'll just sit there and watch a movie until I'm done doing what I need to do. So it's become like a routine. And that is another thing that I've had to really work on in my home life to position myself. I don't worry about them. I'm not wondering what they're doing. Thank God they're good children. So I don't have to worry about them like, burning the house down or anything like that. I can actually focus on serving my clients. If my husband is not home at that time, they can hold it down on their own. I make sure they're fed. These are all things that I'm doing so that I can serve my clients. They're not knocking on my office door or opening my office door saying, I'm hungry, because I make sure they eat before I get on with my clients and make sure they're happy, make sure they got a good movie to watch, make sure they got snacks. So on Tuesday nights, that's their little like movie night time. And so that's, just one thing that I've had to do. So I want you to think about, what do you need to do at home to position yourself for success for the week? What are some of the things you can put in place to make sure that your week is going well? How can you be more organized so that you can actually focus? Pick a time in your day where you need to focus on one thing. I know we all have something that we need to do, right? We all got something that we need to do that's pressing in our businesses. What time are you going to actually get work on that thing? If you've got a project that you're working on, you can say, okay, for the next 3 weeks, for 1 hour a day, I'm focusing in on this project. And that way you can actually get it done when you keep the commitment to yourself. Okay. So here's the third thing when it comes to really prioritizing your business so you can get things done and this is just a mindset thing, right? Understand that we all start from the same place. We all start from the beginning. Like no one wakes up knowing how to build a 5, 6, 7, and 8 figure business. Nobody. We all we all start from the beginning. And so when you see people, doing certain things and they're growing and you're like, where did this person come from? You may not realize this person has been working on this for 10 years, 15 years. And all of a sudden you're like, this person made 6 figures in one launch. But you don't realize that they've been working on this thing for a long time. And this is just one of their big breakthroughs or something along those lines. But I'm saying all that to say that that person started from the beginning. Just like all of us, we all start from the beginning. No one has anything that you don't have. No one has anything special. We all have the awesome ability to be successful, but we all have to start from the beginning. Okay. I remember listening to Gary Vee, and he was talking about how when he used to do videos and share content, nobody would see his content. Nobody was seeing his content. Nobody was engaging with his content. But guess what he did? He kept going. But those kind of stories put things into perspective. Like, wait a minute. You don't see Gary Vee as like starting from zero, right? Because of his amazing success right now. So you just see like what you see right now, but you don't see what he had to work through to get to where he is. And I'm just saying all that to say is that you have the ability to be as successful as you want to be, as long as you're willing to continue to keep going, keep it moving, regardless of whether you're doing something and nobody's watching, regardless of whether you launch something and nobody buys or nobody shows up. That has happened to me more times than I can count, right? And so, but it's not something that made me discouraged because I understood where I was at the time. And I was like, okay, I'm building, I'm working. And when you have that mindset for your business, when you're prioritizing and you're understanding, okay, you know what? I may have 10 people in my Facebook group right now, but one day it's going to be 100. And then another day it's going to be 200. And then it's going to be 300. You got to start from zero, right? And then you have to build it up. But what I'm seeing is a lot of entrepreneurs, they get so discouraged because they're looking at what other people are doing and they're looking at the success that other people are doing and they feel like they're doing something wrong. And you're not doing anything wrong. You just have to keep going so that you do achieve that kind of success that you're dreaming about. So you can't just give up because you're like, I've been trying to get, people in my group for the last 2 months and it's not working. Then you may need to find another strategy. And it's just as simple as that. But I want you to feel encouraged and inspired that you can achieve the kind of success you want to achieve in business. And understanding that, listen, we all start from zero. We're all looking for the same things. We all want freedom. We all want clients. We all want that kind of success where we can, start really writing the checks that we want to write checks for, so we can take those vacations that we want to take, so we can send our kids to those private schools or whatever it is that we want to do. All of us have something that we're working towards, right? And I'm telling you, there's enough success out here for everyone. There is enough. God is so abundant that we haven't even tipped the iceberg of what God can do. And so when you understand that, yes, people are doing the things that I want to do, that's just a sign to you that it can be done, right? Another sign that it can be done is that you're dreaming about it. You see it, you see this vision in your head. That is a sign that it can be done. And so when you understand that and when you go into your week with belief, starting with belief that I can do this too, all the people who have gone before me, they also started at the very beginning. I'm starting at the very beginning too. And I guess what I'm going to do, I'm going to keep going, right? That's the mindset you got to have. Yeah, I'm starting from the beginning, but I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep this thing moving. I'm going to keep this train rolling. And that's really what it all comes down to when it comes to prioritizing your week. Believing that you can do it. Understanding that everybody starts from ground zero. We all start with 0 followers, 0 people on our email list, 0 clients. We all start from the same place. But we can all achieve momentous success as long as we're willing to continue going. Keep that thing moving, keep that train pushing. Set aside some time to do the things that you need to do and keep the commitment to yourself. And then work on your home life, positioning things at home to set you up for a successful week. Okay. So if you're watching me from LinkedIn or YouTube, I want to invite you to come on over to my Facebook group, Purpose Driven Coaches and Mentors. Just type it in the Facebook search and you'll see that group come up. So you can come on over and hang out with us inside of the Facebook group. Also, if you need to email me for anything, just email me at info@shantaprince.com. You can also message me on any platform that I'm on. I am big on messaging. I actually have a couple of hours a day set aside just for messaging. So if you have any questions or any ideas that you want to talk about, feel free to send me a message. Most people who will follow me, they already know. They know they can reach me pretty quickly on messaging me on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, any platform that you see me on. You can send me a message and I'll respond pretty quickly. So if you want to chat, feel free to send me a message. I would love to talk to you about your brand, building your coaching business, getting clients, your brand messaging, anything that I'm great at. Believe me, I'm passionate about talking about those things. So feel free to send me a message and we can talk. Other than that, I'll be seeing you again soon. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful week.